Um, d- I'll do it with this hand. Hello, everybody. It's me, Mystic or Lunar. Trying to introduce myself like I do over on Discord. But yeah, it's me, Lunar, back here in this beautiful environment here. You may notice in today's video, this hand sort of freaking out sometimes. That's because I learned that the Oculus Quest 2 controllers have a nasty habit of breaking the tracking ring when you accidentally smack them off your desk while playing Blade and Sorcery. So, yeah, I had to order a $70 replacement controller within 2 weeks of having a controller, of having the headset. I already have to order a new right-hand controller because I smacked it off my desk. Oh, I'm an idiot. That said, hello. Welcome back to the channel thing. Today I sort of wanted to do a quick little video to sort of set out the ground rules of what I want to try and do from now on with my videos. Once I get a proper avatar made, which is going to be expensive, I plan to also use it for like that VTuber thing where like on your screen, like over here somewhere, you'd have me or VR chat me or something. And then like right here on your screen, like to to this side of me, I want to insert like what I'm talking about. So that way you guys have a kind of idea of what I'm talking about instead of it, instead of like before when it was just my voice with no visuals, nothing. Half the time my video didn't even like take into account what I was trying to say. So also moving these hands around is weird. So as a result, some of them came out weird. That said, I do want to talk about the future of my Vore reviews series. That was the main reason I made this channel, was to do that series. So I want to try and sort of hard focus on doing more of those videos. Here's my issue. Like hear me out. Here's the issue. Too many Vore games are also in SFW, which means when like here. Sure. Good. Do it like that. Okay. So let me do it with my working hand. So with my working hand, a lot of porn or Vore games are also NSFW. And I don't know if you know this about NSFW content, but NSFW and YouTube, they don't like each other very much. So as a result, I can't post a lot of these videos that I want to make on games that I want to make them about without learning how to do censorship. The whole the whole blurring out of this area and this area type deal that a lot of YouTubers like Hatter do. I don't know how to do that. So as a result, a lot of the videos I want to make, I can't release publicly here on YouTube, but I can put them on a different website and put a link here on YouTube, which is what I'm thinking I might do. Like, I might do that. That said, there are a few I do want to talk about. Some I want to re-talk about, and some I just feel like deserve to be talked about. So how the series is going to work from now on, if we grab our handy dandy pen, this is actually very useful. So if we want to keep in mind that some of the videos can't be made, I want to break down our video into 3 sections. I'm not left-handed, so this is very awkward to do. 3 sections. The overview, where I talk about the mod or game in question in general and sort of lay out what you can and can't do in it, and what the limitations might be. What I'm going to call the good controller, the good bad and ugly, where I talk about what I did like about the mod, what I didn't like about the mod, and what I absolutely despised about the mod or game in question. And finally, what I'll call this is just the general wrap up. What I'll call the suggestions part of the suggestions part. Where I'll give my thoughts and opinions on some things that we could add to the game or mod in question to try and make them a little better. Of course, I do want to say this. If I've said it before, I'll say it again. These are my thoughts and opinions, and I am by no means a mod creator / author / anything. So don't ever take my words as law. They're just sort of suggestions. And finally, we'll have a ranking. Where each mod or game can receive a score out of 10, with 10 being the best, and 0 being the worst. Because I've seen some good Vore games and I've seen some bad Vore games. Now, it is important to keep in mind, if we just swap colors here over to fuck it. It is important to note that some are no longer being developed. No longer. I probably misspelled that. So my thoughts and opinions will most likely not go into reality. So do keep in mind that whatever I suggest may not actually make it into whatever game I'm reviewing. And can I just say that being able to write out what I'm talking about helps a lot? Like, this helps a lot. So don't expect my ideas to actually make it into any sort of final project, especially with things like Snackerface that I want to talk about, but were abandoned very early on in their development. And keep in mind that if we grab our purple here, stage of completion won't affect rankings. What this basically means is that just because a game never made it out of alpha does not mean that I'm going to rank it with like a 1 or a 2 just because it never made it out of alpha. In my opinion, that would make my rankings very unfair, as a lot of Vore games and mods sadly get abandoned very early on in development due to creator burnout, as a lot of these games and mods are being created by just one person, or sometimes two. But you can't hold the stage of completion as this major factor, because if you do, then you'll never see anything above a 5 on my list, aside from actually completed games, which there are sadly very few of. Now, as for games we have to games that cost money, it's very sloppy. As for games that cost money, these will still be ranked the same way as other games, but they're also going to have the context of, are they worth price? So, in other words, the extra stigma on top of these games that you actually have to pay for are they worth the price? Because some people who are trying to make a quick dollar will actually make these quote unquote sexual or Vore games, trying to make easy money out of our communities, because, well, the only way you can engage in Vore is through these online mediums like games or stuff like that. So as a result, you'll have a lot of people try and make these pay to play Vore games that are actually pretty bad. I've heard some are pretty good, and I've even played one that is relatively decent that I will be making a video in this series on, called Veronica Cleans House, which is available on Steam. Do keep in mind that there are some pay-to-play Vore games that are bad. So before you even look at spending any form of money on anything, that's what this series is going to be about. So let's break down everything I just talked about. In short, what is the purpose of this series? The purpose of this series is so that you know what Vore games. Just go to write in cursive. Slash mods you may want. Okay. So the purpose of this series is to tell you what Vore games you may want, and sort of give you an idea of what kinds of Vore games are out there. Now, it is important for you to know. Why is my tongue hanging out like that? Get back in my face. Thank you. I don't know what that was about. That was weird. Okay. Anyways, the idea of this is so that way you have a general understanding of what Vore games are out there and what mods you may want to try and what games you may want to get. Now, keep in mind that any Vore mod, the mod itself will most likely be free, but the game may cost you some money. So do keep that in mind. Anyways, to break it all down, this series is going to consist of 3 sections: an overview, the good and the bad and the ugly, and my suggestions, where the overview, I talk about the general idea of the mod, the game, what it does, what you can do in it, what the mechanics are, etc. The good and the bad and ugly is where I will talk about things I like, things I don't like, and things I despise about the mod / game. Suggestions is where I'll give my thoughts and opinions and suggestions on things to improve, specifically the ugly, as those will be my major nitpicks when it comes to these games. I will also have general suggestions. Under the ranking at the end of the video, every game can get a 0 out of 10 ranking, with 0 being the worst and 10 being the best. The stage of development that the game or mod was in when it was abandoned, if it was abandoned and not finished, will not affect my ranking, and instead will have an extra part tacked on of what could be added to make it better and what it needs to be a finished game. Games that cost money will have the extra of, are they worth the price tag? Because there are some that are not worth the price tag, and some that are charged ridiculous amounts for. Just keep in mind that some of these are not finished. As a result, most of my suggestions will probably never be implemented and are just here to sort of tell you what I was thinking as I was playing the game. This said, that is sort of the idea of what the new Vore review series is going to be like. There will still be Vore gameplays. I do want to still do those, and I am actually working on setting up a Skyrim VR mod list. I just have to move my PC from my small little bedroom closet, basically, that I use for gaming, out into my living room, which will reduce the amount of time I can be recording due to having a roommate and having to, sort of work around that. But with any luck, you should see me try and get Devourment working in Skyrim. And if I do, that's going to be very interesting, especially if I have a first-person texture that will let me like look down like I can now and like see my body. Oh god, that would be weird. I think it breaks if you're prey though, but like imagine looking down and seeing that. That'd be really cool. And I could still technically allow the NPCs to be predators. I would just have to disable the fact of the player being a prey. Okay, I have an idea. I am going to work on this now. Damn my brain. Anyways, this is how the new Vore review series is going to go. The first episode of which is going to be on the game Vore, which is something you guys seem to like when I post to my channel. So I'm going to be redoing my review of that in this new style, and we're going to see how it goes from there. I'll probably make more use of these pins because being able to write out my thoughts does help keep my mind going. How do I... Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have thrown all these pins all over the place. Yeah, I shouldn't have done this. Okay, while I'm cleaning this up, you guys just, I don't know, wait patiently for my next video. Until then, I'm Mystic Star and / Lunar. I may actually rename this channel saying, have a fantastic day. And you know what? Have a smiley face. Yeah, have a smiley face. And knowing you bastards, you're probably going to think of it eating you, you disgusting freaks in nature. So I'm just going to go.